When I was pregnant with Josephine, a friend of mine told me her birth story and it terrified me. She was in labor for 76 hours, including 7 hours of transition. I was like, absolutely not. And I researched every trick in the book to make sure that my labor would be a fast one. And lo and behold, it worked, even though I was induced. And doctors told me that it was going to take days. My first birth was 6 hours of active labor into just 15 minutes of pushing. And by the end of this video, you are going to know how to achieve the same results. You'll know how to prepare your body to birth quickly and efficiently so you can meet your baby after 8 hours instead of 80. But first, my name is Maria. I'm a Lamaze-Certified Childbirth Educator and owner of the app Natural Birth by Echo, a free resource that helps natural mamas like you achieve positive, unmedicated birth experiences. Alrighty, tip number 1 for a faster birth is relaxation. Staying relaxed is foundational, not just for a faster labor, but an easier one as well. Why? Well, when you're not relaxed, your body senses stress signals and thinks, I'm not safe. My baby can't be born here. And it releases hormones called catecholamines to shut labor down. It's a survival mechanism. For example, a friend of mine progressed easily at home. She labored well. She got to 6 centimeters without a problem. But then when she got to the hospital, she hates hospitals. She had an annoying nurse. They kept pestering her for cervical exams and her labor slowed way down. What happened? She wasn't relaxed. Her body thought she was in danger and it released catecholamines to shut everything down. If you want to know how to stay relaxed during birth, download the app Natural Birth by Echo. It's really going to help labor go smoothly. Okay, tip number 2 for a faster birth is darkness. Keep the lights low. And this kind of relates to relaxation. When our cat, for example, had kittens, she found a dark little corner of the house, made a nest, and had her babies at night. This is because instinctively, the darkness feels private. It feels safe, and she was able to relax. When I had my home birth this past May, I planned to have cutesy little twinkle lights. I thought they looked pretty. I wanted to be a fun Instagram birth mom. But when it came down to it, I had to have the lights off and my birth video was ruined. I needed complete darkness. Sam opened the door for 1 second to get something and the afternoon light poured in. I was like, Sam, close the door. I just could not do labor with the lights on. So darkness, it helps us relax, it helps us focus, and everything happens more quickly. My home birth was just 3 hours of active labor, so hey, something worked. The next tip for a faster birth is staying active. When you stay upright, gravity gently pulls your baby downward, making every contraction that much more effective at guiding your baby out. Furthermore, walking, rocking, swaying, these all shift the bones of your pelvis, and with every movement, your baby wriggles into a better position. And a better position means an easier exit, so stay upright and move around. The 4th thing you can do for a faster birth is go to the bathroom. The bladder is located under your baby and right next to the uterus, so when it's full, it presses on your uterus and slows down progress in labor. It's such a simple thing, honestly, but it can be easy to forget to go to the bathroom when you're focused on contractions and breathing. So have dad or doula remind you every hour or so, and once you get to the bathroom, hang out there for a little bit. Our tip number 5 is toilet sitting. A lot of moms subconsciously tighten the pelvic floor right when they need it to open. If they feel discomfort, they clench their way through it, but this closes the pelvic muscles and slows labor down. A simple way around this is toilet sitting. Think about it. Since our potty training days, we have been conditioned to relax and open the pelvic floor whenever sitting on the toilet. So by hanging out on the toilet for a few contractions, you can trick your pelvic floor into relaxing and giving your baby room to move. This is a great tool if you're stuck in a plateau or you struggle with relaxing through each contraction. The next thing you want to do for a faster labor is eat. Birth is an athletic event. Your body needs fuel. Laboring hungry is like running a marathon without breakfast. Sure, you can finish the race, but you're gonna be slow, you're gonna be tired, and your body will not work as efficiently. Just like running a marathon, your body needs fuel in order to labor and birth efficiently and swiftly. If you want some ideas for labor snacks that include all the ingredients scientifically proven to ease labor, the Echo Natural Birth Course Handbook has got you covered. I will link it below. And the 7th tool you need to speed up labor is physical touch, massage, acupressure. Some moms make out with their husbands because it releases the bonding hormone oxytocin. Oxytocin is also the hormone responsible for uterine contractions. So if labor is slow or contractions just aren't feeling effective, an oxytocin boost could be just what you need to get there faster. A combination tool I love is the Slow Dance in your Echo app because it combines physical touch with gentle, easy movement. So win-win. The 8th way you can speed up labor, we're on a roll here. The 8th way is by using acupressure. It sounds really weird, but certain acupressure points are known to not only help your labor along, but reduce pain as well. And your Echo app has all the acupressure points to use and when to use them for maximum effectiveness. The next thing you need for a faster birth is hydration. And I have personally found this to be very, very effective. Studies show over and over and over again that hydrated women labor faster. Why? Because again, birth is an athletic event. Sure, you can give birth without hydration, but it would be like Simone Biles competing at the Olympics without a water break. Your body, your muscles, the whole system just works better when it gets the fuel it needs. A word of warning though, it is very easy to forget to hydrate. When you're in the thick of it and you're focused on breathing through each contraction, you just don't think about it. When I was in labor with Colby, Sam came by every 15 minutes and basically forced me to drink something. And I'm so glad he did because I wasn't going to remember, but thanks to him and his reminders, labor was short and something clearly worked really well. My next bit of advice is probably the most important. Get off your back. Get off your back, get off your back. When your baby passes through the birth canal, the SI joint temporarily shifts to allow them through. This bone is designed to move to allow your baby out. However, when you're flat on your back, the SI joint is locked in place and cannot move. Your pelvis is closed by up to 30%, meaning your contractions have to squeeze your baby out through an even tighter opening, which adds hours to your labor time, not to mention a whole lot of pain. The simple solution, get off your back and give your SI joint room to shift. On that note, the next way to speed up labor goes hand in hand with staying off your back. Switch positions. Switch positions for a faster labor. My friend with the 76-hour labor that I mentioned earlier, she was in the birth tub and labor was just not progressing. She was in the tub for so long that the water turned cold and she had to get out so they could reheat it. But the minute she stood up, she felt a literal drop. And moments later, she was ready to push. It was when she finally switched positions that her baby was able to move downward and out. When you stay in the same position, it can lock your baby in place, as was the case with my friend. So switch positions every 30 to 60 minutes to prevent that from happening and help your baby out. As for what position to get into, my next tip is to squat. Squat specifically when you're in the pushing stage of labor. Squatting opens your pelvis as wide as it's ever gonna get. You are 30% more open in the squat position. And like I said, the squat is most effective in the second stage or pushing stage of labor. So if you're pushing and pushing without much progress, the squat might be the solution that you're looking for. Tip number, what number are we on? I think it's 12. We'll go with that. Tip for a faster birth, number 12, say no to Ptocin. Hospital staff sometimes administer a hit of PIT when your labor slows down and it's taking longer than they like. Ptocin is a drug that creates uterine contractions. Unfortunately, it does make those contractions less effective. Ptocin makes contractions less effective because it interferes with oxytocin, which is the natural hormone that creates the strong, effective contractions that you need. So while Ptocin will force your uterus to contract, yes, it's not going to help cause those contractions to work any better. They won't work the way they're supposed to. They just won't be as effective. Recent studies have shown that using Ptocin to augment labor is not effective or helpful. It will not make labor go faster. Why do they still do it? Sadly, the reason is because it takes an average of 17 years for medical practice to catch up with medical data, and a lot of hospitals just aren't up to date yet. I'll link the study below if you'd like to research this further. So not only does Ptocin slow your labor down, it also makes contractions excruciatingly painful, which pushes many women to get the epidural, which makes labor take even longer. So for a faster birth, don't get Ptocin. It doesn't do anything and it'll cause you a lot of pain. All right, the final thing you can do for a faster birth, and this is probably one of my favorite labor tricks, ignore it. Nothing's happening. I'm not in labor. What contractions? The labor headspace is exhausting. And when you've been there mentally for hours and hours and hours, it really drags on. A simple mind game I love is to treat early labor like it's not even happening. I had an early labor activity planned. I was going to make coffee and breakfast muffins for my birth team. I was in the kitchen. I would pull out the French press, pause for a contraction, get the coffee grinder, pause for a contraction. And I never actually finished these tasks because Colby came really fast. But because I was distracted, my first birth seemed even faster. So plan something fun, lightly active, gardening, baking, have an early labor activity ready to go, and conserve your emotional energy for when things really get intense. That wraps up the top ways you can have a faster birth. If you liked this video, you are gonna love my other stuff, so hit subscribe to get the information you need for an awesome natural birth experience, and I will see you next time.